CBD is a natural compound found in the hemp plant that has been shown to have a variety of health benefits. CBD can help relax your mind and body, reduce inflammation, and improve sleep. It is also non-addictive and has no known side effects. If you're interested in trying CBD, check out our website at www.hypnotizeme.com. And remember, if you're not hypnotized, then you're not doing it right. That's hypnotizeme.com, www.hypnotizeme.com for our high-quality CBD products and drinks. Hypnotize Me, a sponsor of the Bossfest podcast.
It seems like everybody want to be a boss these days. Everybody want to be a boss till it's time to pay out, you feel me, till it's time to pay that boss cost. They ain't trying to have them tough conversations. They ain't trying to put in them extra hours, catching that windfall money, dealing with folks not being consistent. Don't get me started on the lack of sleep, but you know what they say.
Boss Life, BOSSFEST, Bossfest podcast. Each and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, guaranteed to get you right. BOSSFEST, the Bossfest podcast. They might make you laugh, make you mad, make you cry. Either way it go, it's a vibe. Tune in, catch the topic, get the tea. Ain't no shallow waters over here, we get deep. You sensitive, easy to offend, you need to flee. But them tough conversations gonna be happening. Bossfest podcast, they hold it down. Wednesday, 7 Eastern, man, it's going down. Tell a friend to tell a friend and y'all gather round. Get active in the comments, don't get lost in the crowd. Hey, what's happening? It's your man DJ Bush. I had to show love to Kevin and Edwina, Bossfest Butlers. Y'all know what time it is, the Bossfest podcast. But you already know what we live in. Boss Life. BOSSFEST, the Bossfest podcast. Each and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, guaranteed to get you right.
Welcome to the Bossfest podcast. How y'all doing out there today? Hope
What up?
y'all are having a great Wednesday. And making the most out of this day. We got some special guests in the building, but before we introduce them, I got to introduce my lovely, co-partner here who gives me all the energy all the time, the lovely Mrs. Edwina Butler. How you doing, baby?
I'm good. Oh, thank you for the claps. Thank you. You wouldn't know what to do without all this energy I be giving you.
Rest, be at peace. I don't know. It's a lot of things I feel like.
Move on.
I'll move on. So we got special guests in the building today joining us on the Bossfest podcast, hitting us the Bossfest table. I know y'all have seen this dynamic duo doing major things around here in the county and Central Florida. From the photography, from the pictures you see on the book that's captivating minds and imagery everywhere, and to someone that's captivating the minds of our kids, building a legacy in our community, we want to welcome Kendrick and Whitney Sims. How y'all doing today?
Appreciate y'all having us on. Appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
That's what's up. So, man, introduce yourself to the people. They know you, but introduce you to them one or two that maybe not know you.
So you want to go first?
No, this man he gave his wife the go ahead first, and you want me to look like the bad guy, and you want me to go first? No, man, you go first, man.
So hello, everyone. I am Whitney Sims, serial mompreneur, former educator who stepped out on faith and became a self-published author, YouTube content creator. I do story times on YouTube for early childhood education. And the founder of the newly launched Word Wonders Online Academy Preschool. And my amazing husband.
Hey, my resume is not that long, so mine's I'm gonna be quick. I'm Kendrick Sims, husband, father of 3. This is my beautiful wife, Whit. I am a photographer here located in Polk County. Been doing it now for about how long, babe?
7 years. Now?
About 7 years. Not my main job, still my second job to my main job, but trying to go for now. Yeah, trying to go full time. So yeah, that's it. KMS Portrait Photography.
And how can they find y'all?
So you can find my resources are on whitneyrsims.com. That's where you can find the links to my YouTube channels, as well as Amazon links for my self-published children's book, early learning resources, workbooks, textbooks, coloring books. And you can also find me on YouTube at Sit with Wit story times. And we are working on the website for the online preschool currently. So that will be up within the next week or so.
Nice.
That's what's up.
And you can find me at www.ksportrait.photography. What's my web? God.
Oh Lord.
Hey man, well, you just like me. We gotta ask them, don't we?
KMS.
What's my name again?
Portraits.
Photography.
KMS
Hey man.
Photography.
Don't ask me for my Instagram because I really don't be on that either. I think it's like KS Portraits. Oh yeah, it's KS KMS.portraits on my IG, and then it's also KMS.weddings for my weddings work on my IG. So yeah, you see it.
Come on.
You know, it's gonna come through somewhere.
Come on.
Man, got multiple pages.
Multiple.
He should have took notes before he got on the podcast.
Don't do that. Don't we're not doing that tonight.
That's a lot to remember.
We just gonna win this thing.
I swear.
Well, we definitely appreciate y'all joining us today. Did you see that intro though? Like, just next time, that's how I want you to introduce me.
The way she introduced herself?
The way she introduced him.
Oh.
Pay attention.
Okay.
She said, "Pay attention."
Got it. I don't want no smoke today.
Still got you in trouble, bro. My bad.
Listen, this should be one of the few days I should get in. Maybe I'm getting more trouble. You celebrating the birthday today, right?
Yes, sir.
Man, I see the gray, man, but you ain't really that old. How old are you?
So I'm only 42. Unfortunately, I started green like early, so I may look older than what I am. But yeah, 42. Just turned 42 today.
Happy birthday.
Appreciate that. Thank y'all.
Yay.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
I'm older than you. Dang.
I know, right?
That made you feel bad that you older than him?
He carries himself so maturely. And I be still acting childish.
And do.
Listen,
I just gotta step my game up.
bro. You got to see the household. Trust me. I tell my wife all the time. Somebody got to be mature in this relationship, and I think it's our son because right now, between us two, man, listen,
Completely different
ball game, bro.
Listen, I understand. So
before we get into it, how long have you guys been together?
Together almost 9 years. Married 5. We just celebrated our 5th wedding anniversary in March.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That take a lot.
Celebrate the 5th one. Huh?
Yeah, just made it to number 5.
Number 5 in March.
I don't know what gift you get on number 5, but that's a blessing.
What gift you get on number 16?
Woo.
I don't know that either.
Hey, that's what's up. Congrats on that right there.
Hashtag goals. You getting there?
So,
y'all got major plans for 20?
Not divorce?
That sounds like a great plan.
We don't like to overachieve here. You know, keep it simple, not divorce.
That's
a good.
Hey, you make a great point, bro. Hey, listen, I feel you on that.
I like it.
Lord. Well, I'm excited about today's topic.
Me too. I'm excited about the guests. I think we're gonna have a great dialogue today. So my wife likes to just jump right into it, but we didn't do it that time. We actually did a little intro, so I'm happy for that. But man, so today's topic, y'all see it scrolling across the screen. At what age is it time to let go of your dreams? The reason why this topic came about is as we start, pursuing life, whether it's in entrepreneurship, whether it's in relationships, friendships, and things of that nature, we all have certain aspirations and goals that we want to try to achieve and go after. And sometimes life starts lifing and you have to make a decision. And it's, do I keep trying to pursue this wherever that dream is, or do I allow life to win in some sort, or do I redirect or reevaluate the play? And I think for a lot of us, we allow the dream to die versus reevaluate it.
I feel like you're answering the question for us.
I'm answering my question. What is your question or your response?
I mean, I just don't want you to project your thoughts onto the rest of us.
I'm gonna be quiet and I'm not gonna project right now.
So you told us about the topic. I'm gonna kick it off to our guest and just see what you guys think about an age that you should let your dreams go.
Ooh, age?
It says that what age is it time to let your dreams go? Like, so is there an age, and what do you think about the topic? Is what I'm asking.
So when you guys gave me the topic, right, I started thinking about it, and of course, I don't think there is an age. There is never an age, right? To me, I don't think there's a set age. But I will say this: the longer you wait, I feel like the less time you get to enjoy what you're trying to build, what you're trying to accomplish. So it's not an age, right? But you want to get started as soon as possible. If you have something in your heart you want to do, and my wife, she'll speak on this, because of course we just, I guess she'll speak on the online academy she got started, which has been in her books for how long, babe?
Almost 4 years.
Yeah, for a while, right? And things are just finally start to kick off for her with that. So you can't put an age on it. You should never put an age on it. But you want to try to get started early so you can enjoy whatever you're trying to build as long as possible. Don't keep holding it back, holding off on it. And I may be going off of what I'm trying to say, but I don't believe that's an age. Maybe you see different with that.
No, I would agree that I don't think there is an age limit as long as there's an effort being put in to show some type of fruit. Like you're not completely barren for 15, 20 years because you're working on the same thing and nothing is happening. So for myself, for example, although the seed was planted almost 4 years ago, me personally, even though I was working towards, doing the preschool, at the same time, I wasn't prepared. I didn't have the business mindset. I didn't feel that I had the necessary experience, even though I have been in the classroom for over 10 years, working with, little ones other than my son, is something that I hadn't done for a long time. So it took me working at home with him, recording myself, doing lessons with him, and kind of working those steps, building up to the preparation. I had to learn how to teach virtually. I had to learn, had to go back to school, and I got my master's to know how to build a curriculum and how to structure a curriculum and things like that. So it's not just me jumping and saying, hey, I have this dream of owning a preschool. 5 minutes or 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line, I haven't done anything, to progress to get me to my dreams and my goals. And I feel like if you aren't pursuing, or if you're pursuing your goals, but you're not taking the necessary steps to perfect things in that specific area, then I think it's time to let it go, because you're barren. You're not bearing any fruit whatsoever. It's just an idea. It's not necessarily something that you plan to achieve.
Okay. Our comment actually agrees with you. It says, as long as you still have a desire, keep moving towards it, as long as it brings you joy.
Mm-hmm.
No passion. Oh, okay. So they're saying, like, if you don't have any passion behind it.
Right.
So for me, I think there is an age where you have to let your dreams go. And I'm going to use like a personal example. Like someone in my family was doing a cooking business, and they were slowly progressing in the cooking business. But after so long, you can't stand up. You know what I mean? Like you can't stand up for long periods of time to cook. In this particular cooking business, like you don't have to carry stuff and you clean. whatever you're doing a cooking business. But it became that age was actually affecting whether they could progress in the business. So it became a situation where it's like, hey, you gotta let this go. You have to. I know this is the dream to create the business, and like to really boom. But you're getting too old to continue this. So for me, I've seen it where like there is an age where it's like at some point you can't pursue it anymore, and you do have to say, hey, I gotta sit this down. So in my opinion, I think there is an age.
In that regard, yeah, I would say it would be situational because I mean,
Yeah.
in that case, for sure. But even with it progressing and growing in business, that's when you would hire and
I was about to
possibly
say that. Yeah.
get assistance. So you're not the sole person that's doing all of the cooking. You can hire a team and write down your recipes, be an overseer, but not necessarily give up on the dream altogether because of age or because of health. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, and I think about that myself. Again, with me being where I'm at now and still trying to get where I want to be. I think about that sometimes when I'm out doing, like when I shot a wedding, I was standing on my feet for a good 10, 11, 12 hours total. And, when you come home, that's when you feel it. I'm like, man, like, you know.
You feed her age?
Hmm?
You at the age where your feet hurt. You at feet her age, like, oh Lord.
Oh yeah, listen.
Man, she gave you a whole title. You feet hurt age.
That's the first time I've
Listen,
ever heard that.
Listen,
I'm using
that's
that.
my first time hearing that
I'm
also.
using that.
But
put
yeah,
it on the shirt.
yeah, because
I'm at feet hurt age.
Her age.
feet her age. That's we're gonna add that one to the.
I like it.
I'm at that age down at the feet her age.
I like it.
And so it makes me think like, man, every time, like, man, can I do weddings for the rest of my life if I want to be strictly a wedding photographer or something like that? So I think about that, of course. But like the commenter said, she said feed her age. Like the commenter said, if you have a passion for it, something to keep pushing you towards it. Now, of course, if you become unable, physical wise, but like my wife said, now you have to look at if that's something you're still passionate about, you can find a way to have somebody run that business and also still be included in it some type of way. Even if you're just sitting there barking out the recipes, telling them how to cook, the food or whatever, So I get it from your point. Physically, yes, it can be an age, but there's still other ways that you can be a part of it.
Right.
You
just have to learn how to pivot.
Which some people can't do. Some people have to be hands-on. Some people have to just.
I think your business got to be to a certain point too, because you have to be able to have enough income to be able to hire.
Right.
But I also think there's a mindset too that can make there be an age limit on when you need to like stop your dreams. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I mean, I'm gonna draw from another personal experience. So when I decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur, per se, I think my husband was like, ain't you a little old for that? Like we got jobs and like a household to take care of. You're not doing too much at your age. So that's what, like the perception. Almost like the old rapper, like in their 50s or so, and you still trying to have a rap career, like you're not too old to be a rapper. That's how he was approaching me on the scene.
Yeah.
If they see that you suck at it.
Ooh, Jesus.
I talk about the rapping, not me as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I'm talking about the rapping.
I don't know what he was saying. If you suck at it.
Okay. It got to be some type of awareness that are like you just don't want to dive into something that you're not good at. And especially when you have a job and you're trying to maintain stuff.
Wifey can't even say you, bro. If you suck at
it, I was not expecting.
That's how I just say stuff, bro. But I was not expecting that. But what you think about it?
As far as what?
As far as like what when you have like you say, why are you trying to do it at this age? We have house, we have bills, we have this, that to take care of. Like that could be a factor. I know that's a factor with me personally. Like if I wasn't in the position I was in, You know, if I was single and without 3 kids and a wife, I'll take that chance, you know. But sometimes you have to consider everything instead of just yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that still doesn't say that you shouldn't pursue it. You just should find an alternate way. So my thing is, I'm gonna still work while pursuing what I'm trying to get to. If I ever get to where I feel like I don't have to do my main job and I can make this my full-time job, then that's the goal I'm reaching for. That's what I'm striving for, right? But I definitely understand your point. Like when you have so much other things going on in your life, you know, depending on you, yeah, you have to kind of think about some stuff, but still don't think that's a, you know, we've heard plenty of stories of people who got started late and are successful, you know, even with working 1, 2, 3 jobs, you know, if they have that passion and they have that belief that they can get to where they're trying to go, you know, sometimes there's nothing that can stop you.
Yeah. And even if you think of like people like Jeff Bezos, he started Amazon at what, 30?
Yeah.
And this was in the early 90s. And I mean, look at him now. So, I mean, if you have the passion and desire and at least you're working towards it, I don't think there's an age where you should stop. Like you have a lot of actors, you have a lot of business owners who started late. Samuel L. Jackson, I think he got his big break when he was almost 50. And he's like a legend. And you have like all of these, you know, these people who are perfecting their craft over the years, and it just may not be the season for them at the time. But, you know, you shouldn't stop. I personally don't think you should stop.
You never know that big break. Like it can be one, especially now with social media, right? It could be one single thing that can change the entire course of your life, of your business, everything, you know what I'm saying? Keith Lee, he come into your restaurant. Yes. So the person that you're referring to, Keith Lee coming to the restaurant, you know, bam, whole different ball game. You know,
standing up then.
You see what I'm saying?
Find all kind of wheelchairs and scooters then.
So yeah, your business may have to be at a certain point, but you never know what can happen at a particular time in the future that can accelerate you to a different level. You know, so you got to keep pushing it and striving for it because anything can happen. It's that simple. Anything can happen at any time. And if you get discouraged thinking, well, I've only grown so much and I've hit a stall, you know, and I'm not progressing. It's a lot of people been like that, and bam, just that big break came. All of a sudden, it, you know, took off. So you got to keep a positive mindset no matter where you are in your business, you know.
Yeah, I think you touched on something with that one. Mindset is key. And
Absolutely.
I don't think people understand how important mindset is, especially when going into business, because some of us play around with business.
Don't keep, I said me. You know what you said? I said, you're too old to be playing.
No. So I was introduced to entrepreneurship, we'll say by forced compliance, right? So it was one of those things where, you know, COVID happened, everybody saw the world shake up a little bit, and it was, hey, none of this is guaranteed, nobody's job is guaranteed. And I think a lot of us fell into that. So that wasn't exclusive to no race, gender, or nobody. COVID happened, it shook all of us up. And a lot of people was looking at their lives and like, man, I'm giving so much of my energy and my time to this company that will replace me instantly. Yeah. Companies that'll just let me go for the sake of their own bottom line. I need to start building my own brand, my own business. And what can I do to make that situation, you know, better? And for me, I was what you call one of them essential people. So I felt good through the pandemic because I was making all the money. I'm like, ooh, I'm great. I ain't got to do nothing. But my wife was on a different spectrum of that. She said, no, I've lost so much time and energy in being the person I want to be for my household, my kids, and things of that nature, that I don't want to go down that path no more. So we're going to do entrepreneurship. So it was different for us. She was all in. I was like, do we really got to go? And I now have started to develop that mindset to say, you know what? I see the benefits of pursuing this, even at this age, and trying to make sure that I can be as supportive as I can without being roadblock, because I've been several damn roadblocks. I try not to be a roadblock. Bro, you just had one of them moments where you like, man, for real, this is what we gonna do? Like, you know we built a pretty good life here. Why are we doing this? But I'm learning to break out of that mindset of being that roadblock. And I don't necessarily know if it's an age thing, but I do think it's an evaluation phase that we all have to go through, whatever business we're pursuing. If we're going after it and things ain't working, we continue to still do the same thing, and we hope that one day it hits. Yeah, like Keith Lee walking your restaurant, yeah, that changes your game, but what's the likelihood of that happening? If he doesn't walk in your restaurant, what's your plan?
Yeah.
And because of social media, we all think that, oh man, I just need that one thing to happen. I'm waiting on that one thing to happen versus trying to do enough things that create that one thing to happen.
Right.
So that's just my take on it. What you got to say, babe?
I don't know. I'm just so floored by your comments. Come back to me.
I don't even know what I'd be doing to her. I think I was doing okay that time.
No, this is why you're
doing good, bro.
I thought I was okay.
I say he thought I was doing okay that time.
I get fired every show for being me. I'm gonna be somebody else today.
So look, we're talking about age and dreams. There's got to be, let's just say, maybe there's an age where you should actually commit to something. Like there's got to be an age where you're too old to be playing the fence. So you're either committing to being supportive in the business and, hey, I'm gonna be all in, or you're committing to just sit on the sideline. But what you're committing to is to riding the fence and to keep talking about it. Like, I like to be in it when it's popping, and when it's not, then I don't want nothing to do with it. Once it gets popping, it's too late for you to be on it. That's like everybody, like once you're hot, everybody want a part of it.
Right.
It's cool then. You can't be that way, like so close to the action. So everybody's like, oh, Kevin and Bossfest. No, Kevin get fired like every week because you too old to be on the fence. Pick a lane. You either want to do it or you don't.
Oh,
bro, how many times you been fired by your wife?
Don't feel bad for him.
I get a pink slip every week, bro.
Every week, bro.
Every week for something I didn't do.
Hey, I'm surprised she trip on you about the audio tonight. That's like every episode she say something about the audio about you.
She typically get me on that, but it's been more. It's been consistently better, so she hadn't had to harp on that as much. But it's been a little staticky that I can hear in my headphones, so I know I'm gonna get it later on.
I want to talk about the audio though.
Here you go.
So
about this audio.
Not in that way.
About this audio.
So we made it to season 2. Congratulations for season 2. And I promised when we get to season 2, I wasn't going to talk about the audio. So that's a whole year of talking about the audio. Eventually, you gotta let it go, or I gotta fire him. Like you had a year to get it together. So that's why you don't hear about the audio. I said in season 2, I'm not going to bother him.
So at what age are we going to work on the audio?
Right. At what age do you get the audio? Now we talking.
So you gonna attack me too?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm just getting attacked everywhere.
It's
just bad business.
I don't know what to say.
Kendrick not even helping you a little bit.
Hey, don't help me. Let me just die on this post by myself, man. We gonna
don't do it like that.
No, we good. It's part of the chemistry. So we make it work somehow, barely. Mm-hmm. But I got another question. I'm a veer off a little bit, but I think it's still within line. So a few weeks ago, Whitney, you did a literacy event in Haines City.
Mm.
And this was the second event, correct?
Yes.
So for you to put that event together and do that, how long was the planning process? I mean, like, I know we all think I'm gonna do this one day.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take from you to get from I'm gonna do this one day to finally doing it, and now you're doing it for the second year, and you just did it for the second year?
The idea, it was led on my heart in 2019 to do it. Had no idea. It was just an idea that I put down. It's somewhat of a vision board, but I typed it all out. I literally had like the vision was dropped, in my spirit, and I just typed it all out. I had Google pictures of where I wanted everybody to be. I had the objective, I had who I wanted to be the hostesses and everything, but I just had no idea, who to get in touch with. So it was just saved as a document on my laptop since 2019. And I just let it sit there until after I became a self-published author in 2021. I think I self-published my first children's book. And then there was a desire for me to do more for the authors in our community because they're, I was looking at other events. They were in Orlando, they were in Tampa. And I was like, oh, why don't we do something like that in Haines City? So that was actually my first event was called the Authors Expo. That was the inaugural Haines City Authors Expo. We had that November 20. What was that? I think it was the same year.
Was it the same year?
I think it was the same year. We did the Authors Expo. And through the Authors Expo, I met then Mayor Ann Huffman. And I presented her with the idea of wanting to do something like that, but for kids. And I pretty much pitched the idea to her. And she just pretty much welcomed it with open arms. And then the first Haines City Children's Literacy Festival happened in March of 2023. And then, as you saw, this past March, we had our second one. So it started with the plan, and then she just walked into my life at the right time. So going back to, letting the dreams go, that's something that I just didn't want to let go of because one, I knew there was a need in our community. And two, I knew that it wasn't just dropped in my spirit for nothing. Because usually when something like that is brought to me and I write it out, 99% of the time it manifests. So I made sure that every detail that was given to me, that was dropped in my spirit, I made sure I wrote it down, and it ended up coming to fruition 2, maybe 3 years later. But it just started with me writing it down. And then, like I said, 2-3 years later, I happened to have this first event, met with the mayor. Then, like I said, she opened up those doors, and now we have it as an annual event for the city of Haines City for our kids. So that's something I'm definitely happy about, excited about. And it's kind of scary to see how you have to be careful what you write down and what you speak, because 9 times out of 10, it will manifest itself, whether good or bad. So you just have to be intentional about a lot of your thinking and what you write down. So yeah, it all started from a vision. Maybe just writing it down and being in the room with the right person at the right time.
I think that's a beautiful story. I took away be careful what you say.
Be careful what you say
and what you write down.
Right.
So you got to understand
how
my wife is, right? So she has, like she say, she writes it down, right? So she typed out these pieces of paper and she stuck them all around the house, where we want to be with our credit scores, where we want to be in a couple of years, where we want to be money wise. And what's the saying on it? That it's only crazy until it happens.
It's only crazy until it happens.
Right. So the vision is posted everywhere daily.
Everywhere.
To not let it get to the point where it's forgot about, right? Mm-hmm. So think about that. She has these on the walls, on the doors, on the mirrors.
Yeah. And I was strategic about where I put it. So when you would go in the bathroom and you would close the door, it's right there. When you would go to the refrigerator, it's right there on the door of the freezer. Or, it's in places where I know if we get comfortable, we have no choice but to look up and see it as a constant reminder. So it's like you said, it's nothing that we could ever forget about. So it's only crazy until it happens. And it's only a matter of time before it happens.
Right. So even if you write it down, right, and it's not progressing at that time, just like for me, I stopped photography 1 year, just let it go for a whole year. Wasn't no real major reason why. I was like, I'm not feeling this right now. And then a year later, picked it up, and I'm doing, of course, better now that I've grown into it than I did at the time, right? So there will be some times where mentally you be like, okay, it's draining. This ain't what I want to do right now. But if you're passionate about it and you love it, if you got that vision where you want to be with it, there's going to be some times where you might want to put it off to the side, but somehow, some way, keep it in your eyesight, right? In your line of sight. If that's something that you really want to do and something you really want to achieve, because it's only going to get done if you do the work, right?
Y'all talking that talk.
Right. And then as you're doing the work, that's when you come across someone like a Mary Ann Huffman who can put you in place to do something that you wrote down 2 or 3 years prior, right? That's how it works.
And you're prepared.
And you're
because
prepared.
When she asked the questions, I had already had it written down. So it was literally all I need is a yes, because I'm ready to go. And it wasn't, she was asking questions and I was, I don't know. Let me think about it. Or let me research, or let me figure it out and I'll let you know later. No, when we spoke, I literally gave her a map out of everything, from the date, the time, the schedule of the event, every single detail that was given to me vision wise. I laid it out for her and she was just like, here. So the Authors Expo was in November of 2022, and our inaugural literacy festival was the following March. So I planned the inaugural festival in, what was that?
Within
4 or 5 months. Yeah. 4 or 5 months, because I literally just had it written down. It was just the people that I reached out to just saying yes, because it was all laid out.
That's awesome.
That's real awesome. All I heard, she said a lot and it was awesome. But at first I was saying, I got it written everywhere. I'm like, man, she done vandalized the whole house. She got this written on the mirror, the walls, the
dry erase markers. Dry erase markers.
We got this written on the car door. Like, you open up your car door, there go your message.
Yeah. And it goes so deep, right?
Yes.
It goes so deep. Like, even with our son, right? Because, of course, educator, teacher, love that type of stuff. So she printed out like the items. So when he see that stuff, he's picking it up. So, like, for instance, she printed out fan and she stuck it on the fan. So when he's walking around the house and he see that, he knows that's a fan and he can see how to spell it. He's, refrigerator. She printed that out, stuck it on the refrigerator. Door handle, she stuck it, printed out, stuck it. So stuff like that. Like, it's always that vision, man, having that vision and keeping it constant in front of you is pivotal. It means a lot. And you don't even know you're picking it up. You don't even know it's being instilled in you. But it is, because it's right there in your vision.
It's right there.
And it's subconsciously, you just obtaining it and taking it in,
Yep.
So she deep with the printing out and pasting stuff around the house. Like, she printed out door. She got it on the front door. So all the guests, when they leave out, they see the word door on the door. Stuff like
That's
that.
what I'm like, man, your house just full of sticky notes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's what I call write the room, and everything is labeled. Yes. And that's helped my son to learn how to read at 2. So it's effective even for the little ones.
Yeah, it is. Hey, that proves the fact right there.
Right.
It's only crazy until it works, right?
Until it happens.
Until it happens.
Yeah, keep that same mindset when I write on everything. Keep that same mindset.
You better use.
And dry erase markers work too. So if you want to write like a scripture on your mirror, at the top of your mirror, it will wipe off with the Clorox wipe or whatever. Dry erase markers, just write it, as long as you keep it in your eyesight and consistently write it down. Or even if you don't want to post it everywhere, you can, keep a journal and make sure you write out, making sure you remind yourself constantly of why you're doing it. And that's a lot of the motivation of why I do a lot of what I want to do, because I wrote down a list of my whys, and that also keeps you motivated as well. Your family, wanting to live in better circumstances, whatever it is, what's your why? that's what also keeps me motivated.
And Kev, you said something right. I want to go back to, because it could be an issue for a lot of couples, right? And trying to support them with what they're doing, right? So a lot of us ask for, when we meet somebody, we want somebody, especially women, I want somebody motivated, go-getter, who's going to provide, Mm-hmm. So what you got to understand with a lot of this stuff, right? A lot comes with that. If that's what you want, you got to understand this person is probably going to be gone a lot, trying to get that to where they're going, trying to do something to get to the point where they can provide, right? So you can't be the barrier as the spouse when you already got the world already trying to, step on them to get to where they're going. You can't be the barrier as the spouse if you got somebody motivated who's trying to do something, somebody who's passionate about what they're trying to do. Being the barrier that, at home, that can stop growth on a lot of stuff. It was some nights when she was doing her boards, when she was making her boards, like nightly, staying up, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, making books. I can't say anything because I see she's passionate about it. I see that's what she want to do. She's trying to get these orders out. This is what she loves. You can't be that spouse and say, hey, what you doing? I need you. You see they're on a mission to accomplish something, and at the end of the day, it's going to bear fruit somewhere. It's going to pay off for the family, the couple. So you always want to be motivation to your significant other.
And it definitely support what they're trying to do. Motivation. It helps a lot having the motivation. So I actually just posted that yesterday of how important it is to have a spouse who not only sees you, but understands the grind. Because at the end of the day, they know and understand that it's not just for the individual, it's for the household. So when that spouse is winning, that entire household is winning. When he has a wedding, we have a wedding to shoot. When I sell books, this household sold books. So it's very important, like you said, that your spouse isn't a barrier or a hindrance, because that could stop your growth, because now you're thinking, okay, I really want to publish this book, but I have a spouse who, doesn't understand my passion or doesn't like the fact that, I'm taking this long to put in the work to self-publish this book. Well, now, because I want to please my spouse in the moment, because they don't understand the long term, that book now gets put on the shelf when it could have blessed thousands upon millions. It could have been a New York Times bestseller because the spouse didn't agree. And I just think it's just important just to have that support system, because that can definitely catapult you to a completely different level when you just have that in-house cheerleader constantly rooting you on and even helping you. He said that when I used to do the boards, because Kevin, you mentioned about when the world shut down, a lot of people don't know that I had my son December 2019 and COVID happened 3 months later. And daycare was not an option. So in August of 2020, we didn't want daycare is expensive. It's very, for one. So in August of 2020, I actually resigned from Polk County Schools. And I was making learning boards because I knew, again, that was something that was led in my heart to create these boards, provide some type of educational resources for families who had no access to teachers or who just wanted to help their kids at home. I started making the learning boards. Cairo was 4 or 5 months old, so I got a newborn at home. I'm up making boards. So all of this is happening during COVID, and COVID happened to be one of the biggest blessings of my life because it allowed me to step outside of the classroom and provide more resources beyond the 4 walls of a classroom, which was a prayer that I had 2 years prior, but didn't know how that was going to transpire. So even with that, he knew that I wanted to do the learning boards. So instead of I started out just printing everything and hand cutting literally every single thing and hot gluing it to the board. He noticed that it took a long time for me to do. So to cut that time in half, he bought a Cricut machine to cut my time in half. I started laminating the pieces one by one. He noticed that was taking a lot of time. He purchased this laminating machine. I have no idea how he even found it, that I was able to feed everything through and it laminated everything for me. So it's very important that you just have that partner or that teammate to just be there to help you and motivate you, because at the end of the day, it's not just for that individual person, it's for the entire household.
Now, we ain't saying don't just ignore your spouse all the time.
No, not all the time.
Yeah, we ain't saying that.
No.
But understand that when they're on a mission and they're trying to accomplish something, and you see they're passionate about it, you have to understand that this is what you ask for when you ask for someone who's motivated, when you ask for someone who's a leader, someone who a go-getter. You know, I think a lot of people want that, and then when they get that, they want to try to change that person to not being what they ask for. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm a go-getter. I'm trying to go and provide for some, trying to get this and build for us, you know. So you can't be that barrier, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like you want to say something.
No, I want to say nothing. I mean, they preached to you, so I mean, I was just listening to the message.
I almost feel like I gotta defend my actions right now. Like, golly.
Hey, bro,
God. So, in transparency, because now I gotta defend myself.
No.
Golly.
You sure do.
my bad, bro.
I need an attorney.
We should have talked
right
off camera before we got it.
Where Marquisha at? Do you need to
Man,
change
I need Marquisha and Sarah. Like, I need them both. Like, this ain't, oh man.
Go ahead. What's your defense?
So, in my defense,
You're too old to be messy.
You're too old.
you know what? I'm gonna say y'all right. I lost the case. I'm gonna just take the time and just make sure I'm being a better support. So I think sometimes with me, I be trying to do too much to think I'm helping, and it's more of a hindrance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I become like a roadblock. So it's not like I'm telling her not to pursue her dreams or don't go after your goals and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more or less, I say, hey, I can help you do it. And I don't realize how much work it is behind helping her do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, ooh, I wasn't prepared for that.
I'm like, ooh,
All right, I ain't even doing that. Shoot.
No, I'm just saying. So obviously, I definitely appreciate y'all for the sermon. We appreciate it, but just take the message that you should not be a barrier.
I'm gonna take the message. I will not be a barrier.
You too old.
I'm too old to be a barrier.
Too old.
Maybe that's what the topic should have been.
I'm
Too old to be a
How
barrier.
old are you to not be barriers no more? Like, let me reword it. I'm gonna figure out
Yeah, figure out the
I
wording
like
in that.
when is it too old to still be a barrier?
No, still working on it.
I'll work on this.
But the point is, you shouldn't be a barrier. Like if there's a dream, whether I have a dream or you have a dream, we should be supportive to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want people to think that you're not supportive. You are supportive.
I don't know. Anybody new listening to this?
That's why I want to clear the air.
I'm just on the couch on a PlayStation. I'm just in here eating Wheaties and
bro, we already know that ain't
like,
true, bro. We already know that ain't true.
Kevin is one of the major sponsors of Bossfest, so we definitely appreciate him. Not only the podcast, but the event itself. He is also a roadblock when he decides to be. So it just is what it is.
I'm gonna stop being roadblock. All right, so so as we kind of went through this topic, we pretty much have said, hey, there is no age to really let go of your dream.
No, that's what y'all said.
Right.
But you saying is there is age.
I just
You
felt
see-
like there's
Physical.
So you saying
I think there's a time for certain things. That's what I was saying.
so there's a time to stop stripping, right?
Agree.
Yeah.
If your dream is to be a
There's
stripper, at
There's
some
a
point,
there's a
it's
time to stop
too old.
stripping.
Yeah.
So I gotta let it go.
You make a
I
good
thought I
point.
still had a shot, so
You
I can't
make a good
strip
point, Mike.
no more or try to be a stripper.
But that's basically the point that I'm saying. I think there can be an age depending on what the dream is.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But if it's something that you can still go after acquire, don't let anyone stop you or say, hey, like you're too old to do this. If you still want to rap and you can still, rhyme, then I guess be a rapper. Don't be a stripper though. Don't be the 40-something-year-old stripper. Don't do that.
That's all right.
So it really just depends on your dream, and don't let anyone stop you or be a roadblock. I think that was today's
I got you.
message.
So there is an age limit on certain things. Most things there may not be an age limit, but depending on what you choose. So you need to choose the right path.
I think when we try to wrap it up, we try to like put it in a box. So it's like, this is what we all agreed on. I mean, if everyone doesn't think that there's an age limit on dreams, they don't have to. I'm just saying for me, I think some dreams do have.
Yeah, we understand that point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
So here's one for you. I'm gonna throw this one at Kendrick. So a few months ago, we saw the Photographer's Podcast coming online. And all of a sudden, I don't see it no more. Are we revamping? Are we re-strategizing?
Ask him, is he too old to podcast?
I'm asking him if he's too old to podcast. He just turned 42. He got, what is it? Hurt feet age. He is at hurt feet age.
What is it? Hurt knee age.
Trying to see what's going on.
Hurt feet age. Hurt feet age.
So just out of like nowhere, we just stopped, right? It was no particular reason why we stopped. For me, see what was going on behind the scene. Again, I work full time, right? So, in which while I was doing a lot of the podcasts night at night, because I was getting home at like 8, and I was rushing to set everything up, get everything lined, not eating. I wasn't eating until I get off the lives, and some of our lives were going like 2 hours and stuff.
Right.
So I was trying to do everything behind the scene, and Lamar had asked me one time. He was like, you need help, but the way it's set up is you really can't help because I already got everything up. It's just me connecting all the gadgets and stuff, and typing in the names and stuff. And so after a while, I just kind of got burnt out once all that was going on. Plus, with me doing my shoots and trying to come home and edit throughout the week, because that's the only time I had to edit is when I get home from work, hang with the family a little bit, eat, then I'm back in editing. So it was just a lot of work piling up. And of course, that would be the first thing to go or fall behind compared to, getting my couples workout and, spending time with the family and doing stuff around the house. So it's something that we probably just pop back up and do anytime. Like I say, there's no reason why we stop. And matter of fact, I was talking to Deja when I did her photo shoot, and she was like, man, we need to get it back going. So it's just me being lazy, really, honestly. And
I don't think it's
got
lazy.
away from
I think it's just you prioritizing.
Yeah, so you got some advice here saying sometimes the pre-recorded episodes are the best way to go.
If we can schedule the pre-recorded.
Yeah, that makes sense. I honestly never thought about pre-recorded. Like I say, I was just, and because what happened was, it wasn't even supposed to be what it turned into, right? When I had a situation at a wedding, and I popped out the question, like, any photographers want to jump online with me and just talk about any experiences they had shooting weddings. And of course, the homie Lamar hit me up. He was like, hey man, I want to get on. And we did our live.
I want to talk about that. The food, eating at the wedding. I remember.
Yeah. That was our first one. So we did that live, and man, we had a good time doing it. And after we did it, Lamar was like, man, we need to do this consistent. He was like, I want to be on doing it with you. I was like, cool. So I was like, let's do it. You know, we set a date, because before then I was just jumping on the end of time. I was doing like, I do Saturday.
Just pop up.
And so we was like, we'll set a date. So we set that date, and eventually I had asked Deja to come on with us, you know, to kind of add a different perspective from a makeup artist view about, you know, dealing with weddings and different stuff like that. And it just kind of turned into what it was. So initially it wasn't supposed to be like a podcast. It was really supposed to be a one-off thing. But when we saw that we enjoyed the first episode, you know, I chatted with Lamar. We was like, you know, we'll keep it going. And it turned into that. So maybe that's what it was. I never had it planned out to be something consistent. It just kind of turned into that.
Oh, you didn't write it down?
I didn't write it down. No, I write it down. I literally, bro, when I put the question out there
in your house and you didn't write that down,
I ain't write it down because it wasn't nothing on my radar. Like I say, I just put a question out there, and then like when Lamar said he'll come on and talk about it, you know, we did that. We had fun doing it. We enjoyed it, and we just kind of kept it going from there. So, I that's my excuse. I ain't had a reason to write it down because it.
Just an excuse. So
now you should write it down.
But it was somewhat successful when we did it. So I was having fun doing it and enjoyed doing it, right? So you never know, it might pop up.
Run it back.
And
so is the dream dead?
Nah, I still got my stuff. I still got all my camera stuff.
Well, we know you got cameras, Mr. Photographer. Like, is the dream dead?
It's just a matter of me getting with them and see, you know, when we can get started back up. Because like I say, everything already set. It's just a matter. I think, like you say, if I started back, like she mentioned pre-recorded or something, it'd be a lot better.
I think pre-recorded would be a lot
that way I won't feel like I'm rushing trying to get so much done throughout the week. Because UPS be having your boy out there all night.
And those hours fluctuate. So
yeah.
He could say we coming on next week at 7 and he's still on the road at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever notice my post when I put out there, I'll be like 8:30-ish. 9-ish. Well, I say 8:30-ish, and we still start after 9 because my schedule is just so up and down, you know, doing what I do. So and then just like I said, I just kind of ended up putting off to the side when I started getting busy with my work and different stuff going on.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's about to make a comeback.
I don't know.
What is it?
So I heard what my man said. He said, hey, if anything was to go, that was going to be the first thing to go. It's gone. So work right now, photography. If photography takes off the way he wants it to, so it can X out the normal 9-to-5 crap, then he definitely going to be locked in.
Yeah. See, that's the same thing. I had a YouTube as well, and I had to end up letting that go. I had reached my 1,000 subscribers and stuff. I never reached.
Wait a minute. 1,000 subscribers. Man, I'm still at 14 on YouTube. You at 14? We made it to 14, baby.
But yeah,
my victory.
I did that. I got like 25 videos in, and like, man, it's so much going on with it. It just became a lot. So if I can go full-time doing photography, then that's something that I can pick back up and but that's the end goal, right? That's probably the stuff I need to write down.
Right.
Where I can get back to doing that stuff on a consistent basis, because trying to do that working 10, 12 hours a day and then, you know, editing photos and then missing out on family time and different stuff like that, you know, it can be a lot.
Yeah.
I can agree. It's a lot.
It is a lot. But the key word is he ain't writing it down. Wifey writing down everything. He wrote down nothing.
Right.
Don't be your own
everything.
Don't be your own
barrier too.
Bruh, stop being your own barrier.
You're right.
Preach.
You're right. Trust me.
She's here giving me a sermon. It's my turn.
Come on, Bishop Butler. Come on.
You're right though. I mean, it's right though, because we had fun doing it. You know, we had people viewing, tapping in with us and engaging with us, man. And it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. So yeah, I just wish I could get to the well. I pray I will get to the position.
There you go. Manifest it. I will.
There you go. First, to start with a mindset, right?
Hello.
There you go.
Speaking into this, I will get to the position where that can be one of my consistent things to do where I don't have to worry about working full time. Come home, I can be doing that throughout the weekday, working on that stuff at home, running my own business. Spoken.
That's what I'm talking about.
In
We
the
manifesting.
It's out
not
there.
working for other people.
There you go. That's always the end goal, right?
It's only crazy.
Facts.
Tell it how.
To that?
Yeah.
Man.
How
So
long
look,
y'all
as we get ready to wrap this up. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, how long y'all been running on Bossfest?
The podcast?
Yes.
Or the event.
The podcast. Well, all of it together. Which one came first?
The event
came first.
And y'all spun off with the podcast.
This is year 4 for the event that we'll host this year. The podcast we've been doing for a year. Almost to the day, because we don't really know when we started and we're too lazy to look back. So that's where we started season 2. So, but podcasting for a year together, and the event is on year 4.
Okay. Is that something y'all wrote down, or y'all just kind of just found y'all way into it?
I mean, somewhere along the lines, we did write something down.
So the Bossfest event, it happened by default.
Okay.
We were trying to promote, like I said, COVID happened. We were trying to promote the online CBD store, Hypnotize Me, and the grant writing business, Pens Plus More. And we figured, what's the best way to get our business out to the public? Create an event. So we created an event, brought in vendors, promoted our brands and stuff. And people told us, oh man, this event was great. And because, we spent a lot of time kind of talking and educating about business, as a grant writer, I'm trying to tell people certain steps to build their brand, their businesses, to get in more visibility and things of that nature. It was like, man, you should teach in this process. And then we kind of went to a couple of conferences, seeing how it was done, and realized we already got a good baseline on what we can do in our area. We would have to tweak it to, adjust to some things, but why not? So then that's when we created Bossfest the following year, and we brought in the education. We brought in influencers, people dealing with mindset, other entrepreneurs and things of that nature. And like I said, it was the starting point. Last year's event that we did in October was like just that next step, and it created a whole energy that is now to the point where we got people reaching out to us out of state that's building brands, that's got
nice
notoriety in different spaces, saying, hey, I want to get on your stage and speak and deliver this game. So that's where it went. And we wrote it down somewhere. I maybe tried to erase it a couple of times. Because listen, putting on an event cost a lot of damn money. Venue, food, speakers, all that stuff, it starts to add up.
Yeah.
And anybody out there in business understand people try to devalue your product.
Mm-hmm.
And I know as a photographer, you probably had a lot of people saying, oh man, that's your price? You can't do that for cheaper?
Right.
Yeah, if you run a $2 special, I'm with it.
Oh, by the way, if you run a $2 special, we will. We ain't gonna tell you to run a $2 special.
I'm scared.
But if you do,
Just
know, I'm gonna work the crap out of you for your $2 special.
But I'm gonna say there was a lot of writing and a lot of viewing, and as Bossfest started to transpire, the vision has completely changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to be clear, it is a business conference, because a lot of people put on like business events and networking events.
Right.
Bossfest has transitioned, so it is a business conference.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
We did it, baby.
But we've been podcasting together for a year. I really felt like that was the base of Kendrick's question.
Uh-huh.
I was on a podcast before this one, and he was the sound guy. Believe it or not, he was the sound guy.
I think I remember that one.
It's easier to work behind the scenes than it is to do it and be on the camera. My man understands
The
that.
sound wasn't good then either.
Because y'all wouldn't buy the equipment.
Nonetheless, when that kind of
I'll never get credit.
when it was winding down, Kevin came to me and he said he thought I really liked podcasting, and he didn't want me to give it up. So He wasn't being a barrier at that time.
Look at that
He was
support
being a
system.
support system. And then he said, why don't we just try to do, like a couple episodes and see if we can do it together. Yeah. And people kind of liked the banner and started to like know who we were, like just by kind of like watching the podcast. Because when you see us out, like I look angry and people don't approach me. I guess you look angry too.
Not as angry as you.
It's just my face though. So like if you talk to me, then my face will change. And it's like, oh, okay, she's not mad at nothing. It's just my face.
She mad at me.
But through the podcast, people would start to like know our personalities, and, who we were, and it just kind of
nice. That's
cool.
Nice. And look what it turned into. How many episodes y'all deep into?
Oh, that's usable?
Yeah, because when you
45, 46 unusable.
Wait, y'all got some throwaways?
Listen, man, it's about 12 unusable episodes. Remember,
didn't show up.
She started with listen. It's a reason why she's always checking with the sound, right? Like I didn't know. I had to learn this from YouTube University, and I was trying to plug stuff, plus do it the cheap way.
Yeah,
and it was like, man, how do you make this work?
Yeah,
and I eventually had to go get better mics, better cameras, and stuff like that. A different type of sound system to support.
But that stuff gets expensive quick, don't it?
It do. I was trying to use the stuff I had in the house. Like I had like a Fisher Price microphone I was trying to use. I had like some old Beats by Dre. That was some bootleg ones I bought in 2000.
Shout out to DJ Bush, because I think he gave you some advice too along the way. Like,
listen,
put that down, use it.
A lot of people gave me advice. DJ Bush, Unique gave me some advice about camera stuff and sound, interacting with people. Like anyone that I can learn something from and absorb it from, I'll do that. So I'll ask people questions quick, even if I may think I may know something more than them. They may know one thing that can help get me over the edge. So I'm always trying to absorb information.
Yeah.
Right.
So
or someone who can help you. If they can, they may have connects to someone who can.
That piece.
Real.
It's cool.
You never know how far you can go just by like reaching out and talking to somebody next to you.
Networking, making connections. Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
So what I was going to say, as we wind down, what do you guys want to leave the people with?
You go ahead.
I would say don't give up on your dreams. Write the vision, make it plain. If it was something that was given to you, something that you dream about doing, write it down. Write it down, meditate on it, read it every day, write it down every day. Write it till it sticks.
Write
it until it sticks.
Oh, is my go?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So everything she said, and I also want to say it's my birthday today. I turned 42. Happy birthday to me. That's why I want to leave the people with.
Oh my God.
Oh shoot, you got a sound.
I've been had sounds, but you don't put no.
Wow.
You don't put on.
No, he hit me with the oh my God thing. Hey, but yeah, man. It's mindset, man. Stay positive. Even when you feel like you're not progressing, even if you feel like you're stagnant and where you are, not just business, in life, it's always something better coming if you stick with it. It's always, you may feel like you're not getting a clientele, but you if you have clientele, you're still doing good. I think sometimes we equate success to fame, and we feel like if we're not famous and no one knows us, we're not successful. But you got to change that mindset and just look what you have and what you're doing around you, and take that as success, and everything else will take its course. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be the most known person to be successful.
Progression.
That's what you want to always progress. And it's mine. And I progressed to 42 today. I'm 42. Happy birthday.
Y'all tell him happy birthday.
Please.
That boy
I ain't seen nobody put that in the happy birthday in the chat yet. I'm gonna type myself happy birthday.
Happy feet hurt.
Hold on. Happy birthday.
What you mean? There you go right there.
Right.
Don't you do that.
Who wrote happy birthday?
Look on the camera. It's right there.
Oh, appreciate that. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Somebody said
Happy birthday to me. He don't write it to himself. Look, as the wife said, happy feet hurt age.
Happy feet hurt that age day.
So I know we're about to end, but I want to say one thing. Did y'all know that May 1st,
Oh my God.
whatever day May 1st on, this is the only day in the calendar forever. If May 1st is on a Wednesday, Christmas is going to be on a Wednesday. If you go to 2025, if May 1st is on a Thursday, Christmas is going to be on a Thursday. It's the only day in the calendar where that happens. No other day, and it'll be like that for the end of time.
So what you're saying is you Jesus' distant cousin. I got it.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
a few times.
All right, so y'all heard it. Kendrick said Christmas will be on Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
Next year on Thursday.
Next year on Thursday. The only one, May 1st, the only day. So all my May 1st birthdays, happy birthday to y'all too. And that's a nugget for y'all to take that y'all may not have known. So we should feel special about our day.
And that on the Bossfest podcast was another useless fact brought to you by Kendrick today. It wasn't brought to you by me. It was brought to you by Kendrick. Another useless fact brought to you on the Bossfest podcast.
Listen, why?
I mean, somebody might find that interesting.
Every year. I hear it every year.
Hey, man.
I saw your face when he started. Well,
I hear it every year.
Fun fact, your face went.
I already knew. I knew. I know. Yeah, every year.
Don't be a barrier. Stop being a barrier.
I'm not gonna be a barrier. I'll let him say it.
My God. Every year.
My God. Thank you, my God.
Matter of fact, when it's time for him to go, and you got to put that on his tombstone.
Put it on my tombstone. May 1st.
May 1st.
Fun fact.
May
Fun
1st.
fact.
And Christmas.
And Christmas.
You get to be feet her age, you start giving fun facts like that. Did you know that? You just randomly
give.
What is that? Let me tell you, youngin.
You get the random stuff and you get the dad jokes. We got randomness and dad jokes.
You are right about that. He is at that age. Feet hurt dad joke age.
And that's a great age. Great age.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely appreciate y'all, man. We really do. Thank y'all so much for the opportunity.
We thank y'all for being on the podcast. This was awesome.
It was fun.
So, dear, what do you want to leave people with?
I'm good. I had a great show. I just want them to give their socials one more time, how they can follow them, how they can purchase the book, how they can book you for photography services. Let them people know the greatness that y'all doing in our community so that way they can stay engaged with y'all.
Go ahead. You go. Yeah, I'm gonna look up my website.
While he's looking up his handles,
make sure I got
you
that
can
right.
find my resources at whitneyrsims.com. There you will find digital downloads. You will find links to my early learning resources and children's books. You can also find me on YouTube at Sit with Wit. That is a story time for early children or early aged children. And if you have a 3 to 5 year old and you are interested in having a summer enrichment program or having them enrolled, I am currently enrolling for Word Wonders Online Academy until June 3rd. So please reach out to me via Messenger or at whitneyrsims@gmail.com.
And you know what's bad? You got. See that?
June 3rd is an awesome day to close enrollment.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, you get her resume, then I got to come back and say I take pictures. You know?
Yeah.
But that's what I do. I take photos. So listen, if you need some photos, weddings, whatever occasion, you can find me. You can check my work out at kms.portraits on IG. That's for my portrait work. Or you can go to kms.weddings if you want to see my wedding work. And if you want to contact me, you can contact me at www.kmsportraits.com. I got it right here, kmsportraits.com. You can also see my work on my website and contact me through there. So
that's what's up. Y'all get it, them, follow them, be part of the movement. My boy Kendrick said his price is his price, and if you ask him to do a $2,000 event for $100, he gonna bring out his old Polaroid and flip that bit in your face.
And I just may be the
Yeah.
barrier.
Flip, blow on it and hand you your one picture.
That's it.
That'll be a good time to be a barrier.
But no, we definitely thank y'all for joining us on the podcast. It's been great.
Thank you.
It's been one of those nights. Definitely everybody out there listening to the show, follow us, like us, support the movement. Bossfest is more than just an event. It's a movement going down in Tampa, October 6th, the Bossfest conference. Content is king. We're finalizing, wrapping up the dates. I mean, not wrapping up the dates, wrapping up, no, I'm sorry, let me phrase this correctly because she's looking at me sideways. We're working on finalizing the speakers for the event. It's going to be major. A lot of information going to be given in the room. A lot of people out there that struggling in businesses, struggling in branding and things of that net for their business. You don't want to miss this event. I promise you, this event is going to be something different, unique. We moved it to Tampa. We moved it to a bigger market so that way we can capitalize on the energy. I got a sideways look.
No. Go ahead.
I'm doing okay.
No, but it's good. It's
No, but
My boy promoting the business is still getting in trouble.
I mean, he need to write something down. That's what need to happen.
I'm gonna write it down.
When he go to tell y'all about Bossfest, he need to
Hit that oh my
write
God
it
for
down.
me, bro.
hit it.
man.
You gotta hit it one time.
But no, we definitely appreciate y'all. The website is in the making, so we'll definitely launch the Bossfest details soon with the speakers. Kevin is right. It will be a movement. We are in Tampa this year, October 6th. So you did have that right.
At least I had
But we
something right.
definitely appreciate y'all being on the podcast with us. Kendrick, enjoy the rest of your birthday. Do
Thank you.
something. I mean, it's not over yet.
Your feet shouldn't be hurting today, but we'll,
He at that
maybe-
age now, so you
maybe
never
your
know.
back. You know what?
Never.
That's too much business.
My neck
Y'all,
and my
Maybe it's your back.
But again, we appreciate y'all. We thank all of you for joining us on today's episode, and we will see y'all next Wednesday.
Peace. And y'all play that intro.
Peace.
BOSSFTS Bossfest podcast. And look at that.
Whitney
Oh.
looking.
Oh, what
It's not
the
over
music?
with,
Yeah, I
like,
thought we were
they
about
see
to.
No, you started singing it. I couldn't stop it. I was gonna let you
They
embarrass
see
yourself,
you.
but I'm gonna end it now. Cause boy,
All right, have a good one.